welcome to the Committed Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Jody, and each week we're going to be diving in deep, covering all things that help you step up your game, master your mindset, and help you commit to creating the life you desire. So if you're ready for that, let's get started. Hey, you guys, and welcome back to another episode on the Committed Lifestyle Podcast. I'm so thankful that you guys are joining me for another episode, and what I got in store for you today, I think is going to be a winner. Well, I think it is, and I mean, I'm really the only one that can hear myself talking right now. So, hopefully you like it too and have some really good takeaways. I want to talk about how fear keeps us stuck. I know that this is a hot topic for a lot of people that I work with and a lot of people that I know, and just I just think it's something that is very prevalent for us just being human beings in general. Fear is something that holds us back from doing things that we really want to do. And the stories that we tell ourselves of why we can't do it and why we won't do it and why we're scared to do it are usually like the worst stories ever when you say them out loud to someone else. It's like, it's almost silly the way that we can brainwash ourselves into thinking that whatever this fear is that's going in our head is actually like a real thing, like monsters under our bed. I mean, it's not real. So I've got some, just, you're going to hear, my own personal take on this and things that I've been through. And then I'm going to give you some tangible steps and things that you can identify maybe and relate to yourself so that you can really try to work through any fear that you have and take notice of it instead of letting it just take over things that you're actually capable of doing and that aren't really going to be as hard or challenging as you think or scary as you think. And so I know for me, I have been stuck so many times in not doing something that I really want to do because I'm scared. I'm scared to start that thing because I don't know how to do it. So I just get in my head and I get overwhelmed and I need to do this, that, and this, and that, and this, and that. And holy shit, that's a lot to do. Do I really want to get into this? Do I really want to do this? Maybe I don't. And it could cost a lot of money. It cost me time. I could just be doing something else. Like all these stories. What if it doesn't work? What if people don't like me for it? What if I can't get through it? I mean, the list goes on and on of the things that we can tell ourselves. And I know for me, that fear is debilitating. It has kept me stuck so many times. And there's a lot of times where it's won. That fear has literally won over the thing that I really wanted to do, but I was too scared to. Too scared to the point where I just gave up on it. And that dream was just become something of the past, or that desire, whatever it is. And I've just moved on to find something new to dream about and hope for. And you know what has happened? Some of those things I've gone for and they've worked out for me. And a whole hell of a lot of them I've gotten started and it's the same thing. I became overwhelmed. I didn't know exactly what to do. It seemed like a lot of work. It took time and money. It took away like more joy than it was giving me, or it took away joy instead of adding happiness to me. And what did I get myself into? I don't know if that was a good idea. Like a lot of that's literally been like 8 out of 10 times what has happened. And then the other two things, it's like I've actually gone for it because maybe they're a little bit easier, or maybe I had a coach. I had someone helping me out, identifying these fears, helping me with a roadmap, and just working through it with me. As you guys know, I am a big fan of having a coach, just being one myself and having coaches. Like success rate just goes up and it's amazing. And it feels like you've got someone doing this with you and you're not doing it alone, whatever that thing is that it may be for you. But this isn't a plug for coaching at all. I just want to make sure that I give you guys as many tips as possible and just kind of that mental thing that we go through when we're feeling stuck. And hopefully, with the tips that I give you guys, and you can really put this into actionable work so you can help identify when you are getting stuck and how to move through that. So, what are the things that keep us stuck? Well, one of the things I said is not having a roadmap. That's a big one. If you don't know where you're going, then you're never going to get there and you're just going to kind of go around in circles until you give up. Another thing that keeps us stuck, I know for me at least, is failure. Failure in the past. The more times I've failed, or the more times a lot of us fail, we lose self-confidence. And when we start to lose self-confidence, we lose doubt that we're capable of achieving anything. So a lot of times we can tell ourselves, I mean, I can try and it sounds like fun, but I know that last time I tried this, I sucked at it and I failed and I quit. So it's probably what's going to happen again. Why even bother? Does that sound familiar? I know for me, I have said this about because I'm very notorious for starting something but not finishing it, like certain programs or books. I will start them or projects. I'll start them and I'm so excited about it and I'm all in and then I don't finish. And I just go on to the next thing and start the next thing and, oh, this is going to be different. I'm going to finish it, or I'll just get distracted and forget about it. And something new comes onto my plate and I just push it to the side. And next thing I know, I am seeing myself not finishing all these things. I have all these halfway started projects and a lot of loose ends. And then that makes me feel like a failure. And so I don't know if you can relate to that, but there's a lot of times I'll tell myself that story. Well, you never really finish anything, so why would this be any different? And that is a sucky feeling, I'll tell you that much. So it's that awareness of having failure in the past and letting it affect what we're capable of doing now. And then another thing that I think is really big for why we feel stuck is if we're not seeing instant results. So a great example is if you go to the gym and you don't really go to the gym a lot, but you have this goal to get in really good shape and you go to the gym once or twice and you expect to see massive results overnight. You're most likely not going to, but a lot of people, if they aren't seeing results within a week or two, they've changed their diet and they're going to the gym and they're not seeing like instant results, or they're starting a business and they're not seeing an instant paycheck. Well, they'll get stuck and say, fuck, maybe this doesn't work. This isn't working. Like, if I'm working this hard and it's not working, is it ever going to work? And what if it doesn't work? What if I just keep logging in all this time and it's for nothing? So it just seems like that instant result mentality really could keep us stuck, because if we're not seeing it right away, then we just will move on to the next thing. And I personally think that if it's something worth having, you have to put in the time and energy to get that thing. Because if you want it that bad and it's that good, it takes patience. It takes nurturing and growing and getting messy with it and, going down that roadmap. And instant results stuff. Oh, I love instant results. I wish it was like that with everything. I could just snap my fingers and be from A to Z. But that's not the way it works. And a lot of those things that are instant results, they might not be as satisfying as well. And I just think that that satisfaction of the journey is what really creates more of that self-confidence muscle in showing us that, we can do it. We are capable of those things, and it really shapes us into the person that we become. So it's just loving the journey, loving the messiness, and being okay with not having instant results, but taking notice of the little steps along the way. One of the things I think that really keeps us in this state of fear is when we sit in our head for too long. When, you know, it really is, it becomes this overwhelming feeling. Like we're in our head about how overwhelmed we are. And the longer we stay there, the worse it gets. Think about, if you've ever had a panic attack before, like the more you think about it, the worse it gets. If you've ever had like an itch before, the more you think about it, the worse it gets. And you usually get like an itch somewhere else and then an itch somewhere else. Same thing with pain. You can apply that to anything. The more you sit in something, the worse it usually gets. So, it's really helping identify how to get out of sitting in our fear. And I think one of those things, and actually Tony Robbins teaches this, and I love him for helping people get unstuck. He's amazing. And one of the things that he's taught me is it's about changing our environment and changing our emotional state. And when we are stuck in this place of fear, we have to recognize that. So here's one of your tips is recognize when you're in this place of fear and change it. Change your environment so you can change your emotional state. Some things you can do by changing your environment is get out of the house or get out of wherever you are. Get on the phone and call someone that you trust and maybe have a conversation with them about what's going on. It could be going to the gym. It could be taking a nap. Actually, a nap is a really good way to reset yourself. It could be dancing, which I think dancing is a really good one because that's something that really definitely changes our emotional state in a positive way. And that is one of the things that he talks about is just like jumping around, dancing, screaming, yelling, cheering, chanting. If you've ever been to a Tony Robbins event, it's like very high energy and it works. But you don't have to go to an event to do this. You can learn it all right here and apply it instantly. And so, when you see yourself getting stuck in your head, change your environment, change your emotional state. Find something that doesn't take too much of your time, but gives you a feeling that you enjoy. That's the main concept of changing your environment to change your emotional state. And you guys, you want to know what? Everything you want is on the other side of fear. So when we let go of this daunting, like, holy shit, it's so much more than I can handle. And what if this and what if that? And I failed in the past and I don't know how to get there and I haven't seen results yet. When you just get over that and you go through the journey of it, you're going to see that everything you want is just on that other side of the bridge, and that the journey you took to get there, it wasn't that bad. It's really never that bad. I mean, how many times have you actually hit a goal? And when you look back, you're like, oh, wow, that wasn't as bad as I was making it out to be in the beginning. Why didn't I just start sooner? Wasn't that terrible? Like, there was parts of it that kind of sucked, but hey, I'd do it again. It's so cool when you see that and you can recognize that. And then you take that and you replace that with any failures. And you remind yourself, look, if I can do it once, I can do it again. And it doesn't matter what area you've succeeded in. If you succeeded at anything, you can succeed at everything. It's just getting out of that state of staying consumed in that fear. And you want to know what? This is one thing. There's like a stat on this. It's really sad because it's so true. I think about this in certain things and it makes me want to cry sometimes because I'm like, oh shit, am I not doing enough? Like, what am I going to be regretful of? The number one things people regret at the end of their life is that they didn't take the risk, that they didn't do the thing, that they didn't say the thing, and that they, quote unquote, put things off till tomorrow. I mean, that right there, if we could read that, if we could write that down, ooh, that's a challenge I have for you. Write that down and read it to yourself every day. What are you going to regret if you don't take the risk, if you don't do the thing, if you don't say the thing, and if you put it off till tomorrow. To me, that is powerful. And that just, I think, lights a fire under us to just get over ourselves of whatever stories that we're telling ourselves and get to moving, because nobody's winning by being stuck in this fearful place. You're not winning. I'm not winning. Nobody's winning. And I think one of the things that we want to do in life is we want to win. We want to be happy. We want to feel proud of ourselves. We want to look back and say, I did good. And I lived good. And I made good memories. And I'm proud of myself for that. And I've got stories to share. I've got wisdom to pass on. I've got stuff that I created that I can give to someone else, that I can share with someone else. That's an amazing feeling to have. And that is one thing that I know I want to have. I imagine that's something you want to have as well. So why not you? And why not now? Like, who's to say that you're not capable of it? Because you are. If someone else can do it and someone else can achieve the thing that you want to do, why can't you? So I think some of the things that fear causes us to do is it causes us to compare ourselves. And so I challenge you to just really adopt the mindset that if she can do it, so can I. And instead of comparing yourself to someone else, just think, yeah, if they can do it, I can too. Another thing I think fear causes us to do is it causes us to procrastinate. It's that I'll put it off till tomorrow. What I just was talking about that people have a regret of. Fear totally causes us to procrastinate. And that is also just a terrible feeling, because then you go to bed at night and you're mad at yourself. You're like, dang it, I should have done that. I could have done that. I had the time to do it. Why don't I just do it? And that's usually when you're like formulating your plan. You're like, oh yeah, that's all I have to do, but I'll do it tomorrow. And then you wake up and sometimes that cycle happens all over again. You do the same things that take up your time. You have the same stories in your head that keep you overwhelmed and stuck. You've got the same thoughts that you're thinking of why you can't do it, why you're not capable. And it just goes on and on and on, and we keep procrastinating. And next thing we know, another day's gone by, then a week's gone by, and then it's the middle of the month, and it's the end of the month, and then it's the end of the year. And that is a very debilitating feeling. And it's all because of procrastination. And so when we really can hammer down on what the roadmap is, setting up goals, identifying, where we need to switch things up, maybe identifying where we need help, that'll help alleviate a lot of that procrastination. And another thing fear causes us to do is it causes us to get depressed and lose hope. So the more we live in that fear, the more we just, I don't want to say hate ourselves, but we just can tell ourselves that we suck. I know I've done that. And if I was talking to like my nephew and I told them that they sucked, that would be so hard on them. That would shape them in a way that is just, they would think that they do suck, that they are a failure. And I think so many of us talk to ourselves in that same way, and it causes that depression and it causes us to lose hope. So when we can really start talking to ourselves in a way that we would talk to, a 5-year-old, the way that we would talk to someone that we really care about, if we talk to ourselves like that, we will be lifting ourselves up. And you want to know who we have the most conversations with in a day? It's not our friends. It's not our significant others. It's ourselves. We have conversations with ourselves all day long. So one of the best things we can do is choose to have really good, positive, uplifting, encouraging conversations. So you guys, I just encourage you to get messy. Just do the damn thing. Hold on. Has anyone watched The Bachelorette? Just do the damn thing. Just do the damn thing and get over your fear. Stop telling yourself you can't do it. Go get help, get a coach, get a roadmap, get an instruction book, YouTube. I don't care how you have to do it, but get a map for where you want to go. Talk to yourself the way you'd want to be spoken to, as if you were capable of achieving anything. Go get excited to suck at things. Like, know you're going to be pretty bad in the beginning and like be like, yeah, I'm going to go be kind of shitty at this because you want to know what? I'm going to learn something. I'm going to be a little bit better next time I do it. I'm going to go see how bad this really is because it's probably not that bad. That's what Jody said. Jody said it's probably not that bad. Yes, I did say that. So take it and run with it. And just remember that staying stuck and staying in this place of fear is not getting you to where you want to be. So if you want to create more success, you want to create more happiness, you want to create more zest for life and positivity and just everything that you imagine, remember all of that is on the other side of fear. So you guys, let's cross that bridge. Let's get there. Let's do this together. And I want to see your success. I want to see you living out your best life. Is there an acronym for that? Live out your best life. Living your best life. I got to think about something, or I got to Google it because I'm not up to lingo on that one, I think. Anyways, you guys, that's what I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please let me know. Tag me in a post on your Instagram, send me a DM, reach out to me, and let me know what you were taking away from this episode. And as always, if you did like it, please make sure you subscribe. And if you could be so kind to rate and review if you haven't done so yet, that would mean the absolute world to me. So just remember, it's your job to make your life as amazing as possible. And I want that for you. I just can't do it for you. So go out there, live your best life, create what it is that you want. And until next time, much love.